Timothée Chalamet arrived at the Oscars red carpet alone, immediately sparking widespread speculation and intense media attention, as fans and industry insiders questioned the noticeable absence of Kylie Jenner by his side during one of Hollywood's most prestigious nights. The actor, known for his distinctive fashion choices and rising influence in the film industry, stepped onto the carpet in a refined, modern ensemble that drew praise from fashion critics and photographers alike. However, despite the buzz surrounding his appearance, much of the conversation quickly shifted to his solo arrival, a stark contrast to expectations given his high-profile relationship with Jenner. Within minutes, social media platforms were flooded with reactions, with fans dissecting every detail of Chalamet's demeanor, body language, and interactions. The absence of Jenner led to a wave of speculation, ranging from strategic image management to concerns about the status of their relationship. The pair, who have consistently attracted headlines since going public, have become one of the most talked-about celebrity couples, blending the worlds of Hollywood cinema and global beauty entrepreneurship. As the narrative continued to build outside the venue, a different story was quietly unfolding inside. According to multiple sources familiar with the event, Jenner was indeed present at the Oscars but chose to avoid the red carpet spotlight. Instead, she reportedly reunited with Chalamet once inside the venue, away from the intense scrutiny of cameras and live broadcasts. This unexpected development shifted the tone of the conversation. What initially appeared to be a potential sign of distance or separation instead suggested a more calculated and deliberate approach to public appearances. By arriving separately, Chalamet maintained a focused presence on the red carpet, aligning with his reputation as a serious actor during a career-defining moment, while Jenner's decision to stay out of the spotlight allowed the attention to remain centered on the event itself. Eyewitness accounts from inside the venue described their reunion as natural and understated. The couple was seen interacting comfortably, without the performative elements often associated with celebrity appearances. Observers noted a sense of ease between them, reinforcing the idea that their relationship continues to evolve in a more private and controlled manner. Industry analysts suggest that this approach reflects a broader trend among high-profile figures who are increasingly choosing to separate their personal lives from public spectacle. In an era dominated by constant visibility and digital scrutiny, the decision to limit joint appearances, especially on high-profile platforms like the Oscars red carpet, can be interpreted as a strategic move to balance personal privacy with professional branding. The decision also underscores Chalamet's positioning within the film industry. As an actor frequently associated with critically acclaimed projects and award recognition, maintaining a certain level of focus during major events can be seen as essential to reinforcing his artistic identity. Meanwhile, Jenner, a global business figure and media personality, continues to command attention in her own right, making their selective public appearances even more impactful. While neither Chalamet nor Jenner has publicly commented on their Oscars night strategy, the sequence of events has fueled ongoing discussion about the evolving nature of celebrity relationships in the modern media landscape. Rather than relying on traditional displays of togetherness, the couple appears to be navigating their public image with a more nuanced and intentional approach. Ultimately, the solo red carpet walk followed by a private reunion tells a story not of absence, but of control. It highlights a shift in how high-profile couples engage with public attention, choosing moments of visibility carefully while preserving elements of their relationship away from the spotlight. As conversations continue to unfold across media platforms, one thing remains clear: even in silence, Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner have once again captured global attention, proving that in today's entertainment landscape, what happens off-camera can be just as compelling as what unfolds in front of it. Following the initial reports, the narrative surrounding Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner continued to evolve throughout the night, as more details began to surface from inside the Oscars venue. Attendees seated near the couple noted that their interaction appeared relaxed and genuine, far removed from the intense scrutiny that defined the red carpet moments earlier. As the ceremony progressed, subtle exchanges between the two did not go unnoticed. At several points during the evening, Chalamet was seen leaning in to speak with Jenner, sharing brief conversations and occasional smiles that suggested a level of comfort and familiarity. These quiet interactions, though less visible than a traditional red carpet appearance, quickly became the focus of insider discussions and post-event coverage. What made the situation particularly compelling was the contrast between public perception and private reality. Outside the venue, the narrative had already begun to spiral into speculation, with various theories circulating online. Inside, however, the atmosphere told a different story, one of stability rather than separation. Sources close to the event indicated that the decision to arrive separately was not last minute, but rather a carefully considered choice. In an industry where image plays a crucial role, such decisions are rarely accidental. For Chalamet, whose career trajectory continues to rise with critically acclaimed performances and increasing awards recognition, maintaining a distinct professional identity on a night like the Oscars carries significant weight. At the same time, Jenner's presence inside the venue without participating in the red carpet spectacle demonstrated a level of strategic restraint. As one of the most influential figures in the world of beauty and social media, her appearances are often headline-generating events in their own right. By opting out of the red carpet, she effectively shifted the spotlight away from herself, allowing the focus to remain on the ceremony while still supporting Chalamet behind the scenes. This dual approach highlights a broader shift in celebrity culture, where visibility is no longer the sole measure of relevance. Instead, controlled exposure, choosing when and how to appear, has become an increasingly powerful tool. In this context, the actions of Chalamet and Jenner can be seen as part of a larger strategy to navigate fame on their own terms. As the night moved toward its most anticipated moments, the couple's presence together inside the venue continued to draw attention from those in attendance. While they did not engage in overt displays designed for cameras, their subtle connection became evident through consistent proximity and understated interaction. This approach, while less dramatic, arguably carried more authenticity than a highly publicized entrance. Observers also noted that Chalamet remained focused on the event itself, engaging with fellow actors, filmmakers, and industry figures. His demeanor reflected a balance between personal connection and professional commitment, reinforcing his image as a serious contender within the film industry. Jenner, meanwhile, maintained a lower profile, interacting within a more limited circle and avoiding unnecessary attention. As the ceremony concluded and guests transitioned to post-event gatherings, interest in the couple only intensified. Reports from after-parties suggested that they continued to spend time together, further reinforcing the idea that their relationship remains intact despite the earlier speculation. These developments added another layer to the narrative, emphasizing continuity rather than conflict. Media outlets quickly began to reframe their coverage, shifting from questions about absence to analysis of strategy. Headlines that initially hinted at potential issues were replaced with discussions about intentional privacy and evolving relationship dynamics. The conversation moved beyond simple speculation, focusing instead on what this approach reveals about the changing nature of public figures in the digital age. For fans, the sequence of events served as a reminder that not all moments are meant to be publicly consumed. In an era where constant visibility is often expected, the decision to keep certain aspects of a relationship out of the spotlight can be both surprising and compelling. It challenges traditional expectations while adding an element of mystery that continues to engage audiences. The impact of the night extended beyond immediate reactions, influencing broader discussions about celebrity branding and media narratives. Analysts pointed out that by controlling the most visible aspect of the evening, the red carpet, the couple effectively shaped the storyline that followed. Rather than allowing the media to dictate the narrative entirely, they introduced an element of ambiguity that kept audiences engaged. This approach also underscores the importance of timing in public appearances. By separating the highly photographed moment of arrival from the more private experience inside the venue, Chalamet and Jenner created a layered narrative that unfolded over time. Each new detail added depth to the story, sustaining interest long after the initial images were released. In the days following the Oscars, the story continued to gain traction, with commentators revisiting footage, analyzing body language, and debating the implications of the couple's choices. The absence of a joint red carpet appearance, once seen as unusual, began to be interpreted as a deliberate and effective strategy. Ultimately, the events of the evening highlight a shift in how high-profile individuals manage their public and private lives. For Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner, the Oscars provided not just a platform for professional recognition, but also an opportunity to redefine how their relationship is presented to the world. Rather than relying on traditional displays of unity, they demonstrated that connection can exist beyond the reach of cameras, and that sometimes, what is not shown can be just as powerful as what is seen. As the post-Oscars coverage continued to dominate headlines, the story surrounding Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner entered a new phase, one defined not just by what happened during the event, but by how the narrative was being reshaped in real time across global media platforms. In the days following the ceremony, additional insights began to emerge from individuals close to the situation. While no official statements were released, subtle cues from both Chalamet and Jenner's inner circle suggested that the Oscars appearance was part of a broader, carefully managed public strategy. This was not a choice or a spontaneous decision driven by circumstance, but rather a reflection of how both figures are adapting to the evolving demands of fame in an era dominated by digital immediacy. Entertainment analysts pointed out that Chalamet's solo walk aligned perfectly with his current career trajectory. As an actor increasingly associated with prestige cinema and award season recognition, maintaining a certain level of independence during high-profile industry events reinforces his professional identity. Walking the red carpet alone allowed him to command attention solely for his work, his presence, and his growing influence within Hollywood. At the same time, Kylie Jenner's decision to remain out of the red carpet spotlight did not diminish her impact. In fact, it amplified it. In a media environment where overexposure can sometimes dilute influence, strategic absence can create even greater intrigue. By choosing when not to appear, Jenner effectively shifted the conversation, ensuring that her eventual presence inside the venue carried more weight than a traditional public entrance might have. This dynamic reflects a broader shift in celebrity culture, where the most powerful moments are often those that are partially hidden, selectively revealed, or intentionally delayed. The concept of controlled visibility has become increasingly relevant, particularly for figures who operate at the intersection of entertainment, fashion, and digital influence. Observers also noted how the couple's approach subtly challenged long-standing expectations placed on celebrity relationships. Historically, major public events like the Oscars have served as opportunities for couples to present a united front, reinforcing their status through shared visibility. By deviating from this pattern, Chalamet and Jenner introduced a new model, one that prioritizes flexibility, individuality, and narrative control over traditional displays of togetherness. As more behind-the-scenes details surfaced, reports indicated that the pair's reunion inside the venue extended beyond brief interactions. They were seen engaging in longer conversations, sharing reactions to key moments during the ceremony, and maintaining a consistent presence near one another throughout the evening. These observations, while less dramatic than a red carpet debut, provided a more nuanced picture of their relationship, one grounded in familiarity rather than performance. The aftermath of the event also revealed how quickly narratives can shift in the digital age. Initial speculation about potential issues between the two was gradually replaced by a more measured understanding of their choices. Influential entertainment commentators began to highlight the strategic aspects of the evening, reframing what had initially been perceived as an absence into a deliberate and effective form of storytelling. For fans, this evolution in narrative created a sense of ongoing engagement. Each new piece of information added depth to the story, encouraging continued discussion and analysis. Rather than providing a single, definitive moment, the couple's approach allowed the narrative to unfold gradually, sustaining interest over an extended period. Industry insiders emphasize that this type of strategy is becoming increasingly common among high-profile figures who seek to balance public visibility with personal boundaries. In an environment where every appearance is scrutinized and every interaction is amplified, the ability to control the timing and context of those moments becomes a valuable asset. For Timothée Chalamet, the Oscars represented not only a professional milestone but also an opportunity to reinforce his position within the industry. His composed demeanor, combined with the decision to walk the carpet alone, underscored his focus on craft and career progression. At the same time, his interactions with Jenner inside the venue demonstrated that personal connections remain an integral part of his life, even if they are not always displayed publicly. Meanwhile, Kylie Jenner's role in the evening highlighted her ability to influence narratives without direct participation in highly visible moments. Her presence inside the event, coupled with her absence from the red carpet, created a duality that kept audiences engaged and media outlets actively covering the story. As discussions continued across social media platforms, fans began to interpret the couple's actions through a more informed lens. What initially appeared to be a deviation from expectations was increasingly seen as a reflection of maturity and intentionality. The decision to separate public and private moments resonated with audiences who are becoming more aware of the pressures associated with constant visibility. The long-term impact of the Oscars night is likely to extend beyond immediate headlines. By redefining how they present themselves as a couple, Chalamet and Jenner have contributed to an ongoing shift in celebrity culture, one that values authenticity, control, and strategic storytelling over traditional norms. Even days after the event, the conversation shows no signs of slowing down. Analysts continue to revisit the sequence of events, exploring how each decision contributed to the overall narrative. From the solo red carpet walk to the private reunion inside, every detail has been examined, debated, and reinterpreted. Ultimately, the story of that night is not defined by a single moment, but by the interplay between visibility and privacy. It is a reminder that in today's media landscape, what is withheld can be just as impactful as what is revealed. And in that sense, Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner did more than attend the Oscars, they reshaped the conversation around how modern celebrity relationships are experienced, interpreted, and understood by audiences around the world. In the broader context of entertainment media, the Oscars moment involving Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner has now become a case study in how modern celebrity narratives are constructed, amplified, and ultimately redefined. What initially appeared to be a simple red carpet decision has evolved into a multi-layered storyline that continues to generate engagement across audiences worldwide. As analysts began to look deeper, attention shifted toward the timing of their appearances and the subtle coordination behind the scenes. Sources familiar with high-profile event planning suggest that such decisions are often mapped out well in advance, involving publicists, brand strategists, and image consultants. In this light, the choice for Chalamet to walk solo while Jenner remained out of sight until later can be interpreted as a carefully orchestrated sequence designed to maximize both individual and collective impact. The red carpet, long considered the epicenter of celebrity visibility, is no longer the only stage that matters. In fact, for figures like Chalamet, whose career is rooted in artistic credibility and critical acclaim, overexposure in highly commercialized settings can sometimes dilute the perception of authenticity. By appearing alone, he reinforced a narrative centered on his professional achievements, allowing his work to remain the primary focus during a night dedicated to cinematic excellence. At the same time, Jenner's approach demonstrated an acute awareness of media dynamics. As someone whose influence extends far beyond traditional entertainment into business, fashion, and digital culture, her presence carries significant weight regardless of visibility. By choosing to engage with the event on her own terms, she effectively created a parallel narrative, one that unfolded more quietly but proved equally compelling. This dual narrative structure is particularly significant in an era where audiences consume content across multiple platforms simultaneously. While television broadcasts captured the red carpet in real time, social media platforms became the space where the story evolved, expanded, and took on new dimensions. Clips, photos, and eyewitness accounts circulated rapidly, each adding a new layer of interpretation. For many observers, the most intriguing aspect of the evening was not what was immediately visible, but what had to be pieced together afterward. The absence of a shared red carpet moment created a gap in the narrative, one that audiences were eager to fill. This sense of incompleteness drove engagement, prompting discussions, theories, and continuous analysis. As more details emerged about their interactions inside the venue, the narrative began to stabilize. Reports indicated that the couple maintained a consistent presence together throughout key moments of the ceremony, including award presentations and intermissions. Their interactions, though understated, were described as attentive and engaged, suggesting a level of connection that contrasted sharply with earlier speculation. Industry commentators have since highlighted this approach as an example of narrative pacing in celebrity culture. Rather than presenting a complete story up front, Chalamet and Jenner allowed their narrative to unfold gradually, creating multiple points of interest throughout the evening. This method not only sustained attention but also encouraged audiences to remain invested in the story over a longer period. Another factor contributing to the story's longevity is the evolving relationship between celebrities and their audiences. Today's viewers are not passive consumers of information, they actively participate in shaping narratives through comments, shares, and interpretations. In this environment, ambiguity can be a powerful tool, inviting audiences to engage more deeply with the content. For Timothée Chalamet, this level of engagement reinforces his position as one of the most compelling figures of his generation, not just for his performances, but for the way he navigates the public sphere. His ability to balance visibility with restraint has become a defining characteristic of his public image. Similarly, Kylie Jenner continues to demonstrate a sophisticated understanding of influence in the digital age. Her decision to step back from the most visible aspect of the event, while still maintaining a presence where it mattered, reflects a strategic approach that prioritizes impact over immediacy. As the conversation extended into the following week, media outlets began to draw comparisons with other high-profile couples who have adopted similar strategies. The idea of separating public appearances from private interactions is gaining traction, particularly among figures who seek to maintain a sense of authenticity in an increasingly performative environment. This shift also speaks to a broader cultural change, where audiences are becoming more receptive to nuanced portrayals of relationships. Rather than expecting constant displays of unity, there is a growing appreciation for individuality within partnerships. Chalamet and Jenner's Oscars appearance aligns with this trend, offering a model that feels both contemporary and intentional. Despite the extensive analysis, one element remains consistent: the enduring fascination with their dynamic. Whether viewed as a strategic move, a reflection of personal preference, or a combination of both, their actions have succeeded in capturing attention on a global scale. The ability to generate such sustained interest, even in the absence of overt spectacle, underscores the effectiveness of their approach. Looking ahead, it is likely that this moment will influence how future public appearances are perceived and executed, not only by Chalamet and Jenner, but by other figures observing the impact of their choices. The Oscars, in this case, served not just as an award ceremony, but as a platform for redefining the boundaries between public and private life. As new projects, appearances, and events emerge, audiences will continue to watch closely, searching for patterns and signals that might offer further insight into their evolving narrative. Each decision, no matter how small, will be interpreted within the context of this larger story. In the end, the significance of that night lies not in a single image or headline, but in the way it transformed expectations. By choosing when to be visible and when to remain unseen, Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner demonstrated that modern celebrity is as much about absence as it is about presence, and that sometimes, the most powerful statements are the ones delivered quietly, just beyond the reach of the spotlight. As the ripple effects of that Oscars night continued to expand across global media, the narrative surrounding Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner began to take on an even deeper dimension, one that moved beyond speculation and into long-term perception shaping. What became increasingly clear in the days that followed was that this was not just a moment, it was a message. Public relations experts and entertainment strategists started to dissect the sequence with greater precision. The solo red carpet walk was no longer viewed as an isolated decision, but as the opening act of a carefully layered narrative arc. In many ways, it mirrored the structure of storytelling itself, an introduction filled with tension, a middle filled with uncertainty, and a resolution that arrived quietly, almost subtly, inside the venue. This kind of narrative engineering is rarely accidental. In an age where attention is fragmented and audiences are constantly shifting between platforms, creating a story that unfolds in stages can be far more effective than delivering everything at once. And that is exactly what happened here. For Timothée Chalamet, the impact was immediate and measurable. His solo appearance generated a surge in media coverage that focused entirely on him, his fashion, his demeanor, his career trajectory. Without the shared spotlight, every frame, every photograph, every headline centered on his identity as an actor at the peak of his influence. At the same time, the delayed reveal of Kylie Jenner's presence ensured that the conversation did not end there. Instead, it evolved. The story gained a second wave of attention, driven by curiosity and the gradual uncovering of details from inside the event. This two-phase exposure effectively doubled the narrative lifespan, keeping both names trending far longer than a traditional joint appearance might have. What's particularly fascinating is how this approach aligns with broader trends in digital storytelling. Modern audiences are drawn to narratives that require participation, stories that invite them to connect the dots, interpret clues, and engage in ongoing discussion. By withholding certain elements and revealing them over time, Chalamet and Jenner created exactly that kind of experience. The role of social media in amplifying this effect cannot be overstated. Platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and X became active spaces of investigation, where users analyzed footage, compared timelines, and shared theories. The absence of immediate clarity became a catalyst for engagement, turning viewers into participants in the storytelling process. Meanwhile, traditional media outlets adapted quickly, shifting their coverage to match the evolving narrative. What began as straightforward reporting soon incorporated analysis, commentary, and expert opinion. The story was no longer just about who walked the carpet, it was about why, and what it meant in a larger cultural context. Some commentators framed the moment as a reflection of changing power dynamics within celebrity relationships. In previous eras, joint appearances were often used to validate relationships publicly, reinforcing their legitimacy through visibility. In contrast, the approach taken by Chalamet and Jenner suggests a level of confidence that does not rely on constant public affirmation. Others interpreted it as a response to the pressures of overexposure. In a media landscape where every appearance is documented, shared, and scrutinized, limiting visibility can serve as a form of protection. By controlling when and where they appear together, the couple reduces the risk of narrative fatigue while maintaining a sense of intrigue. There is also an element of brand alignment at play. Both individuals operate within distinct yet overlapping spheres of influence. Chalamet's brand is rooted in artistic credibility, independent cinema, and critical recognition. Jenner's brand, on the other hand, is built on mass appeal, business acumen, and digital dominance. Balancing these identities in public requires a level of strategic precision, particularly during high-profile events like the Oscars. By separating their red carpet presence, they allowed each brand to function independently before merging them in a more controlled environment. This not only preserved their individual identities but also enhanced the impact of their connection when it was eventually revealed. As the analysis deepened, another layer began to emerge, one centered on audience psychology. The human tendency to seek resolution plays a significant role in how stories are consumed. When a narrative begins with an unanswered question, such as the absence of a key figure, it creates a sense of tension that demands closure. The eventual revelation of Jenner's presence inside the venue provided that closure, delivering a payoff that felt both satisfying and earned. This dynamic is particularly effective in maintaining viewer retention, whether in digital content, broadcast media, or social platforms. By structuring their appearance in this way, Chalamet and Jenner inadvertently, or perhaps intentionally, applied principles commonly used in entertainment storytelling to their real-life public image. Even beyond the immediate context of the Oscars, the implications of this approach are significant. It suggests a future where celebrity appearances are no longer confined to single moments, but are instead designed as evolving narratives that unfold across time and platforms. Each decision becomes part of a larger story, contributing to a continuous cycle of engagement. For fans, this creates a more immersive experience. Rather than passively observing, they become active participants, following the story as it develops, interpreting its meaning, and sharing their perspectives. This level of engagement not only sustains interest but also strengthens the connection between public figures and their audiences. As the conversation continued to evolve, one thing remained consistent: the enduring intrigue surrounding Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner. Their ability to command attention without relying on traditional methods speaks to a deeper understanding of how modern fame operates. In the end, the Oscars night was not defined by a single image, but by a sequence of moments that, when viewed together, formed a cohesive and compelling narrative. It was a demonstration of how absence can create presence, how silence can generate conversation, and how the most impactful stories are often the ones that unfold just beyond immediate visibility. And as audiences continue to revisit, reinterpret, and discuss that night, the story remains alive, constantly evolving, constantly expanding, and continuing to capture attention in ways that feel both deliberate and entirely unpredictable. As the ripple effects of that Oscars night continued to expand across global media, the narrative surrounding Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner began to take on an even deeper dimension, one that moved beyond speculation and into long-term perception shaping. What became increasingly clear in the days that followed was that this was not just a moment, it was a message. Public relations experts and entertainment strategists started to dissect the sequence with greater precision. The solo red carpet walk was no longer viewed as an isolated decision, but as the opening act of a carefully layered narrative arc. In many ways, it mirrored the structure of storytelling itself: an introduction filled with tension, a middle filled with uncertainty, and a resolution that arrived quietly, almost subtly, inside the venue. This kind of narrative engineering is rarely accidental. In an age where attention is fragmented and audiences are constantly shifting between platforms, creating a story that unfolds in stages can be far more effective than delivering everything at once. And that is exactly what happened here. For Timothée Chalamet, the impact was immediate and measurable. His solo appearance generated a surge in media coverage that focused entirely on him, his fashion, his demeanor, his career trajectory. Without the shared spotlight, every frame, every photograph, every headline centered on his identity as an actor at the